Welcome to Steps Forward with Ricky, a weekly walking podcast designed to help you take steps forward in your life and your day.
Hello. Have you missed me a whole week without walking and listening to me in your ear? What have you been doing all week? More importantly, what have I been doing all week? Well, first and foremost, welcome to the podcast. My name is Ricky and I am your host. I am an entrepreneur, a creator, a life coach, a mentor, a speaker, a podcaster, and mostly just a human being just like you. And this is my podcast. And it's called Steps Forward with Ricky because we take our steps as we move forward and go for walks. So, if you're listening to this for the first time, that is that. We move, we walk as we listen. If you are a regular, you know the drill. And I am sitting on the ground right now on the carpet of my new apartment. Like I'm literally podcasting on the floor. I don't know. I just was like, I want to podcast on the floor because I have this beautiful carpet now and the fireplace is going and I just wanted to be on the floor. This is my new apartment. I got a new apartment. I moved. Like I literally just moved 4 months ago, but I moved again. And this is a big moment for me for a couple reasons. The first apartment that I ever had without my addiction was in LA. And that was the apartment that I just lived in for 4 months. And it was beautiful. And it was a studio. It was small. It's really where my business, has grown. It's where so much has happened. I didn't cry a lot of tears in that apartment. I feel like everywhere I've lived before, maybe you can relate to this, I've just like always felt uneasy there. And not in the last apartment. I felt great. I didn't feel like I was at home. Like I knew this wasn't the long-term solution for me. I mean, the long-term home, but I felt really good there. And sometimes the universe likes to give you little snippets of things, right? Like here, let's give you this amount of space. Let's see what you do with it. And that was my first official home without my addiction. I've lived other places. I lived with my brother before I moved here. And, I've lived other places, but not on my own and not in my own home and not without my addiction. Weed was always my roommate. And we did everything together. And that was where I would isolate too, was in my home. My home before, it didn't really exist, right? I was always looking for my home. And I found it by getting high, or I thought that I found it by getting high. I would sit in my home and I would get high. And I have so many memories, just so many memories of every apartment that I've ever lived in and how many times I smoked and where I smoked and when I smoked. And it was truly like a roommate. It was like this thing that came with me everywhere. And so to have had my first home in LA with none of that was so beautiful. And then I wanted to move forward. I outgrew that home. It was only 4 months, but I really do also feel like my life has been moving very fast. I don't know if you can relate, but like it's only been 10 months and I've done so much in 10 months. And I feel like when I walked away from my addiction and my old relationship, my old life, and I started making the right decisions, like shit has been moving fast. And when you become more in touch with yourself, you just can make decisions faster. And my lease was up in September, but I just had found this place a little bit before. And I was like, hey, it's in the same apartment complex as what I was living in before. But I was just like, I want to live there. I want a 1-bedroom. I want more space. I'm doing good in business and I feel good and I can afford it and I want to do it and I want to have it. And that's what I want. And when I really made that decision, I found this apartment and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I mean, the porch has trees on it. And there's a fireplace, and I feel so grateful to have space. Separation, kind of, between where I sleep and where I work, and it's just nice. And I'm so grateful. And I think sometimes I forget how far I've come, and maybe you can relate. You forget how far you've come because you're just moving. You never stop to think, holy shit, I am so grateful. And I am. And I have a lot of dreams and a lot of goals, a lot of aspirations, and I can't wait to meet the love of my life, and I can't wait to stand on a million stages and make a certain amount of money and help a certain amount of people and do all these amazing things, but I have to be grateful for where I'm at right now. And so do you. Even if it's not where you want to be yet. Because one day you'll look back as a different person. And you'll be grateful that you were at that place, because without that place, you would never be able to get to the next place. I mean, this time last year, I was in a relationship. I was living in Detroit. I was getting high all day. I was so anxious. I was uncertain. I had none of this. And I'm grateful that I was there. I am grateful that I was in pain. 1 month later, I was in so much pain that I started a podcast. 1 month after that, I was in so much pain that I walked away from weed. 1 month after that, everything just started to change. So we think that the things that are going to change our life are actually going to destroy our lives, but they're actually going to free us from our lives. You're so scared to walk away from your addiction. You're so scared to leave the relationship. You're so scared to feel your pain. But it is in the feeling that you can begin to heal. And then you look back 10 months from now and you're like, holy fucking shit, how did I even do that? But not how, because you do know how. I know how. Why did I wait so long? Why did I wait so long? I don't know why I waited so long. Sometimes it's just part of your journey, right? Like everyone has their own journey. I don't regret it. You know, the thing that scared me the most, that got me to walk away from weed, besides a lot of reasons, I guess, I was so scared. And I don't think I've ever talked about this, but I was so scared to not evolve. I was so scared that one day I would be smoking and just never have stopped, and I would be in the relationship that I was currently in, and then I wouldn't ever be able to have babies because I would be too old or something. Isn't that wild? And what weird timing that I'm actually talking about this now, but I've been thinking about it lately because of all the fucked up shit in our world. And that really scared me. I was in the relationship with someone I love, but it was the wrong relationship. I was getting high. That was the wrong thing to be doing. And so I remember thinking, like, if I stay in this relationship and I keep getting high, I could fuck up my chance at being a mom one day because I might wait too long. Which is not true, because you can have babies at such different times now. But it was just the idea that the longer you stay in the wrong thing, the least, it's like the less the right thing is coming your way. So I made space, because I was so scared of staying where I was at in my relationship, in my addiction, in my old life. And I want to get married one day. I want to have babies, and I want to meet the love of my life, and I want to do all these amazing things with my life and my career. And it scared me to think that I would be the reason it wouldn't happen. That should scare you. It's okay if you're not ready to make these decisions, but they should scare you a little bit. Without fear, we don't have the courage to move forward sometimes. I was scared and fucking ready. I was talking about it today during my program, my walking away from weed group, because we're just doing the 6th one right now. By the time you listen to this, it will already have been done, and the July one's open now, which I'll talk about later. But I was so scared, and I remember we were talking about just how scary it is to move forward. And someone in my group, who's been in my container now for a few months, she was in the second walking away from weed group. Now she's in the monthly membership, and she was really wanted to change, and she quit, and then she walked away from weed, and then she would go back, and then she walked away, and then she would go back, and now she's like 3,000% in, and there's a different energy about her. And I was talking to her about it today. I was like, what's changed for you? Like, it feels different. Something feels different for you, right? Because it's not like she ever gave up on her transformation. It's just she was going through so much during it, quitting and then coming back, and then walking away from weed and walking back towards it, and all these different things. And she was like, I'm so sick of my own bullshit. I can't do this anymore. Doesn't matter anymore. Like, it's almost bigger than me. And it's so true. And she's like, and I'm telling you right now, whatever is ahead is a hell of a lot scarier than staying where I'm at. And that's the point you have to get to. It's not, am I 100% ready to walk away from weed and not going to crave it, or walk away from my relationship and not going to miss it, or not going to be scared of these decisions. It's, is it fucking scarier to stay where I'm at? And for me, the answer was yes. And for her, the answer was yes. And for a lot of my clients, the answer is yes. So I'm sitting on my carpet in my new apartment, and I'm so grateful to be here and so excited for what's to come, even though I have no idea what's to come, but I trust that what is meant to be will come. And I believe that. And I believe that because as long as I keep making decisions, as long as you keep making the right decisions, the right things will come your way. And it's just so crazy to me. And now I'm running this business and I'm doing well. And like, I know that this is not just the end. This is just the beginning, right? Like, it's not a weed journey for me. It's a journey of transformation. It's a journey of transforming people's lives and their businesses and whatever they need from me, because I'm going to take all of my experiences as an entrepreneur, as a person that's been through relationships and addiction. And I'm going to help change people with them, because that's what I'm here to do. And it doesn't have to have everything. I don't have to have everything worked out right now. You know, like I used to think I had to have the programs worked out and all this bullshit. And now I realize that it's okay to start with one thing at a time, right? Like the first thing I had to start with was my podcast. And then the second thing I had to do was walk away from weed. And then the third thing that happened was my relationship ended. And then I had to go to therapy. And then I had to just be with myself for a minute. And then I had to take that road trip. And then I had to post that TikTok video. And then I started this program, and it's like one step at a time. And then you look back and you're like, what? How? When? Where? And so you have to believe that it doesn't unfold all at once. It can't. It wouldn't be fun that way. And so I believe that I'm going to be standing on stages one day, and I believe that my Walking Away from Weed program is going to grow and grow and grow and expand into other topics, into other things, and my people will find me. And I believe all of that to be true. But I also know that it can't all happen right away, and that's okay too. And I want you to think about that with your journey of healing and your journey of transformation, or maybe you want to make more money, or you want your business, or you have all these ideas. Remember that it could all happen. Every single thing that you want, it just cannot happen all at once. And it's okay, and you don't want it to anyways. It would be overwhelming, and you wouldn't be able to sustain it. I tell people who are walking away from weed in my container, like, all you got to focus on right now for the first month is not smoking. Don't worry about figuring out every answer to every problem, or where the event came from, or where the trauma came from, or what you believe, or what this or what that. It's okay. Let the answers unfold in time and with time and one step at a time, and they will. They really will. You have to believe that. And so it's amazing to be where I'm at, and I can't wait to go wherever I'm going, wherever that is. And I'm grateful for where I was. I truly am. And I feel sad sometimes when I think about where I was. But I know that it's okay, because that's the path that I was on. That had to be part of my journey. And so if you're suffering right now, or you're in a bad place right now, it's okay. Just because you haven't moved forward doesn't mean that you won't. It doesn't mean that you can't. It does not mean that you will stay where you're at. And maybe this episode's all over the place, but that's okay. This is my podcast, and I can talk about whatever I want. And the more comfortable I become with myself, the more it's okay to be me. It's okay to be you. We are so many different things in our lives, and I'm embracing that every day, and I'm trying to embrace all parts of me. And it's been a really beautiful journey for me, and hopefully it's a journey for you too, just to watch yourself unfold and to get back on track when you fall off track, and just to know that this journey is truly a journey, and things will unfold when you make the right decisions. But if you're sitting there and you're smoking all day, or you're staying in that relationship, you're doing things that are destructive, like, you cannot expect your life to change. You just can't. You know, the universe responds to energy. It doesn't mean that you have to change everything at once, but you do have to make a change. You just have to. Well, you don't have to, but you should want to. And you'll get to a point where you'll be so fucking sick of where you're at, you will feel no other choice. And you will want to. I mean, I had never been more excited in my whole life to change my life than the day that I walked away from weed, because I knew I was walking towards something else. And damn, isn't that exciting? Even when it's scary, it's exciting, because at least you know you're not where you're at. At least you know you're going somewhere, right? So you don't need to figure it all out, but you got to figure something out. And you can. And if you listen to my episodes and you've been following my journey since day one, like, you fucking know where I started. And the steps that I've taken to get here. And the steps I will continue to take, because I, every single day, take steps forward. I get my ass to the gym. I try my very best not to be destructive. I work my ass off in my business. I create content. I podcast. I stretch. I have affirmations. I look myself in the mirror and I tell myself that I am this and I am that. And I tell myself over and over and over again until I feel it in my body, until it sinks into my subconscious. Because I want to evolve and I am determined to step into everything that I am, not all at once and not perfectly. But I don't need it to be perfect. I'm on a journey. You're on a journey. And it's really been beautiful. It's just been beautiful. And I'm just really grateful for it. I really am. Even when it's not perfect, like I just am so grateful to be where I'm at. I never thought I could be here. And maybe you think you can't. I hope I am like inspiration for you. Because I never thought I could be here. And here I am. And it's only going to get better. Because I'm only going to get better. I can't believe I'm just crying like a baby on the ground of my new apartment while the fire is on. I hope this is not your first episode. Because you're like, holy shit, this girl's out of control. I love my podcast so much. It makes me feel so many things. Okay, get your fucking shit together, Ricky. Oh, God. You guys, I don't even know anything I said tonight. This is what transformation is. This is what it feels like in real time. Okay, take a deep breath. Hopefully you haven't turned this off by now. Okay, anyways, thank you for being here and for loving me for who I am and for sitting through me crying on my podcast episodes. And I hope that you know that it's possible. Whatever you want. The healing that you're scared to do, it's possible. The addiction you're scared to walk away from, is possible. One step at a time. One change at a time. It's possible. Whew, okay, thank you for that therapy session, Ricky. I'm thanking myself. Thank you for listening to it. Okay, we start again, walking away from weed program in July, mid-July. DM me. Get on, get in, get on, get in. If you are struggling, this is the place. This is a place to heal, to learn, to grow, to educate yourself, to get community. You are not on this journey alone, and I do not recommend it going on alone. You can email me, but don't wait to join this program. It's transformed so many people's lives. And if you join it, I know it will transform yours. I love you. I will see you next week. Maybe I will podcast on the ground again. We'll see. My producer says he might really hate this, but I'm actually going to get like a lot of stuff in here to turn this into a little podcast studio. I finally have the space to do it. Okay. Not that you care or asked. I love you. Go drink water. Thanks for walking with me while I cried.